Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you've got Darren Little here from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, and I am fired up tonight. We are going to be launching today, actually, is when the first launch is, but in the beginning of March, I'm launching the Top Recruiters Academy. Now, guys, I'm going to share with you a little bit about my own story here. I'm going to turn back the clock a little bit and tell you a little bit about how I got started in this industry and what does it really take to be able to go from zero to over $165,000 in 30 days without spending a penny on paid marketing, okay? Because that's what tonight's seminar really is about. But I want for you to really understand the evolution and how things evolve in this industry and how it's really about personal development and leadership and stepping into your power, stepping into your greatness and becoming the best version of you. Okay, that's really what our industry is all about. Now, I got involved in this industry when I was about 22 years old. You know, I was a young whippersnapper. I really wanted to become a multimillionaire. In fact, I had really, really big dreams. When my millionaire mentor said, Darren, do you want to become a millionaire? I said, Harvey, I want to become a billionaire, right? He said, are you serious about that? I said, absolutely. He says, Darren, if you want to work with me, now keep in mind, I'm like 22 years old. He says, if you want to work with me, it's going to cost you $4,000, right? And I was like, I don't have $4,000, Harvey. He said, well, here's what I'm going to share with you. You got 3 days to do it. And if you can't, it means you have no personal power, and I only work with winners. And he turned around and he walked back to his office. And I knew at that point that I needed to do it. I needed to come up with that $4,000. Now that would be like $12,000 or $15,000 today, right? And I took a loan from my parents, I drained my personal bank account, and I took a loan from the bank. That's going all in on your dream, guys, right? And that's the best thing that I could have ever done. Because by the time I turned 35, I made my first $1 million. I went on to make multiple millions of dollars. And now it's really about you. It's really about your story. It's really about helping you to get to your personal breakthrough. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to take you a little bit behind the scenes so you can really understand what is the barrier, what is that blocker that stops people from getting into their liftoff in their business, okay? So I'm going to share my screen right now. And I'm also going to show you a little bit about my campaign rollout so that you can really see what is involved, what's involved in a campaign when I roll something out to the marketplace, okay? So here we go. We are launching the Top Recruiters Academy. Now, what I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm going to play my trailer for you so you can get an understanding of marketing. I want for you to understand that I'm going to be taking you behind the scenes and showing you how I roll out these campaigns using the power of social media. Okay, so here we go. That's me right there, guys. My name's Darren Little from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Also known online as the MLM Superhero, also Quantum Millionaire. And today, I'm going to share with you how I went from zero to $165,058.87 in 30 days without spending a penny on paid advertising. I'm going to share with you the secrets of the 7-figure income earners. Now, why should you listen to me? Who am I exactly? Well, I've been an entrepreneur since my early 20s. I've raised tens of millions of dollars in conventional businesses, made almost $4 million in a single year, rolled out companies like blackjack.com, bingo.com, Able Auctions, even rolled out Pamela Anderson's career with the Blue Zone. Now, another thing is that a lot of people have challenges recruiting. Recruiting new reps is probably the biggest stumbling block for people. I've personally recruited and trained thousands and thousands of people, both online and offline, in a variety of different programs, companies, network marketing, MLM, direct sales, and affiliate marketing. I have students right now as young as 17 years old that made $35,000 in their very first month in business. Right now, my youngest student is 15 years old. He had a $5,000 first month. I've helped dozens of people go from zero to as much as $45,000 in their very first 30 days under my mentorship. And I've made more than $1.3 million from affiliate commissions and as much as $165,058.87 in a single month. Now, this is really critical, guys, okay? If you want to make these type of figures, you've got to know your why. You've got to get into your driving force. Now, if you're like me and you have children, this is my son. His name's Drayson. He's 17 and a half years old. He goes to the Army and Navy Academy. He's on the dean's list right now. He's got a 4.0 GPA. But I have a dream. I want to be able to travel the world with my son and speak on stage. So I trained him to do some little things on a part-time basis. His first 3 days, he had his first $1,000 that he made online. Keep in mind, that is on a very casual part-time basis because he goes to school full-time. Now, what would this information mean for you if you have children, that you could not only learn these skills yourself, but also for your children? This is the critical thing. A lot of people have, children that are 13, 15. As long as you have children that are awake, I will tell you, they've got to be awake children, okay? And I think you know what I mean by when I say that. Now, this is really the power of this industry, guys, is that travel expenses are a write-off when you have a business like this. You can work from anywhere, but you can also fly in class, and that's business class. This was a trip that I just got back from. I went for 2 months to Manila, to the Philippines. And when you have this type of freedom to be able to travel the world and see places and meet with friends that you have met online, it's the most spectacular thing that I could explain to you, and that's to live a life of freedom. Anywhere that there's a laptop computer, anywhere that you have a Wi-Fi connection, to be able to be completely and totally free. So that was a period of time of 2 months. Now imagine being able to just pick up and go whenever you want and to take off. I went to Manila for 2 entire months, okay? Now I will share this with you because you never know what life is going to throw you, what kind of curveballs that life is going to throw you. And my question to you is, what would you do if this happened to you, okay? Now, I was on my trip and I was walking out of a building. I didn't see the sidewalk drop. It dropped 8 inches. My leg jolted into my hip and I ended up with a herniated disc, and I was in massive pain, but I was also 23 hours from home, okay? So I ended up in the hospital in emergency surgery situation and almost an entire month in the hospital, and I couldn't get back home. 23-hour flight. They had me hooked up to IV. What would you do if this happened to you? $23,000 in medical expenses, and the insurance company isn't going to cover all of those expenses, guys, okay? Even though I had insurance, even though I bought it, travel insurance before I left, they're not going to cover all of those medical bills. Now, my question to you is, do you have a safety net? Or would that experience completely wipe you and your family off the grid? Okay, something like that can put a person into bankruptcy. It can put a person into a situation where they're really in a tough bind, right? Sometimes they have to sell their house. Now, when you're in a foreign country like that and you don't have any choice but to pay the medical bills, you're in a little bit of a caca, okay? So my question to you is, what would you do if that happened to you? Now, fortunately, I was in a position where that didn't really even hurt me. You know, I mean, the previous month I made $165,000, so it was not something that was going to take me out of the game, so to speak. Now, people typically do business. This is very important that you understand this when you're rolling out a company like this. People do business with people that they know, people that they like, people that they trust, people that they're either like or people that they aspire to be like, okay? Now, my question to you is, how the heck do you get complete, total strangers to buy your products? People that don't know you, they may not even like you because they don't even know who you are. Obviously, they can't trust you because they don't even know you. So how exactly are you going to be able to do that? That right there, my friend, is the secret. That is the secret right there that you're staring at that can completely and totally change your life. Now, this was actually a really cool day today, guys, because so far today, I've made $8,011. It's currently about 10 minutes after 7 here in Pacific time. And I got to tell you that there was a time for me when I was vice president of marketing when I only made $5,000 for working an entire month. So that for me, of $8,011 in a single day is like me working a month and a half full time. I'm talking 18-hour days and weekends for that $5,000 a month, okay? Now, I've also had situations here, 3 days on Facebook, $19,360.25. That was actually, you could see the dates there, June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, when I rolled out another campaign for Millionaire Mentoring, okay? So, you know, what I'm gonna share with you guys is once you learn these secrets, there's no limit as to how much money that you can make. No limit at all. The only limit is going to be in your head, okay? The only limit is going to be in your head. Now, here's another situation in 5 days when I rolled out another campaign that I made $24,288.37. Now, if you take that and you divide it by 5,000, that situation right there would be like me working 5 months. What is that? About 5 months, right? So there's no limit, guys. It's so incredible. And this is why I love to teach people these formulas, because once you have your very first $1,000 day, then you realize that you can have a $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 day. Once you have your first $10,000 day, oh my God, everything in your entire reality completely transforms. You're no longer in a position where you're in survival mode. And that's where the majority of people in this world actually live. They never get out of survival. They're always in the hole. They're always trying to play catch up. There's always more month at the end of every month than money. And it's very, very frustrating. Once you can elevate yourself, and 95% of it is going to be in your head, okay? This is where the training comes in. This is where the millionaire mentoring comes in, to be able to feel worthy, to feel deserving, to have a month like that, $165,058.87. Now, when you take $60,000 a year, that's about 2.5 years, right? 60,000 times 3 would be 180 grand. So that's even more. That's almost 3 years of what I used to work as VP of marketing, where I made in the course of 1 month. Okay, now what would that do for you and your family? That's my question. What would that do for you and your family if you could make that type of an income in a single month? Now, here was another cool thing. Ever since I was growing up as a kid, my dad always used to say, you know, they sure don't make cars like that 57 Chev. And I knew that my dad would never go out and buy one. And I set a goal for myself to be able to buy that car for my dad for his birthday present. And it was a museum quality car. It was a 7-year frame off restoration. And when I gave that car to my dad, I felt like I had really achieved freedom, guys. There's no words that can describe being able to do that for your father when you'd heard that growing up your entire life, okay? This is total freedom lifestyle. That's my house in Las Vegas that I bought for my son, my Mercedes ML350 I just got this year, my GTO there that I bought. My dad and myself, we go to these car shows every year that brings us closer together, and it's just an amazing thing. That was a goal that I set for myself. I wanted to be able to get a Rolex watch, you know, nothing other than just a major milestone. And this year, I officially became debt-free. Now, that's what I want for you guys. That's my goal. That's why I do this. I want to be able to help you have that feeling of being completely debt-free. No mortgage payment, no rent, no car payments, nothing, right? No credit card debt, no debt at all that you've got to worry about, right? The only monthly payments that you'll be making on anything would be insurance if you've got a car, or you know, you can just pay that off in one lump sum for the year, and your groceries expenses and travel, right? And when it reaches that point, that's when you truly have freedom. Now, this is the thing that I'm going to share with you. You have to get your mind into this state, okay? Some people just won't settle for second best. You've got to raise your standards in life. That's what takes you to the next level. A lot of people don't feel worthy, they don't feel deserving, they don't love themselves, and they don't have boundaries set to allow the abundance to flow into their life. You have to read that. Some people just won't settle for second best, and you've got to feel it in your DNA, in your body. And you've got to be in a state of complete, total surrender, walking forward in complete blind faith, and feeling worthy and deserving of unlimited abundance. Now, what I cover in the Top Recruiters Academy is really the 7-figure secrets to be able to build a business without having to harass your friends and family. There's nothing worse, guys, I'm telling you. There's a way better way. You don't have to do that. You don't have to harass your friends and family in order to build your business. And when I was first taught that strategy in my 20s, I came from marketing, so it didn't make any sense to me when you can just do target marketing, right? Once you understand the pain of the market and how to solve the pain, you can become the attractor factor. Now, also being able to learn how to build a business without ever getting rejected. People hate getting rejected. It lowers their confidence, it lowers their self-esteem. And I can tell you, what would it be like? Imagine what it would be like if you'd never ever get rejected ever again. If nobody ever said to you, is this a pyramid? What if nobody ever said to you, is this legal? You know, oh, I can't believe you'd get involved with one of these things, right? I haven't had that happen to me, guys, for probably the last decade. Why? Because I target people that are already sold on our particular business model, right? It's called target marketing. Now, what I cover in this training is to teach you how to actually make money while you're sleeping. How could I sponsor 30 new reps in a period of 48 hours just by sending out an email? Think about that. There's no rejection in it, guys. You will be able to increase your skills at communication and copywriting to change people's emotions to get them to make a buying decision. Okay, it's very, very critical. A lot of people don't recruit 30 new reps in an entire year or 2 years or their whole business career. What would it be like for you if you could recruit new reps into your business in 48 hours, right? That's what you're going to learn. Now, the other thing is being able to get rapid fire duplication. It's one thing for you to get results. The question is, can your team get results, right? That's called rapid fire duplication. When somebody gets in, they're getting into momentum immediately. 24 to 48 hours, a lot of times my students start having $1,000 days. Now, this has been a 6-month period of time with one group of students here. They've done combined $1,121,000 at 6 months. At 7 months, they did, I think, $1,164,000. So, you know, once you understand what's behind it, how do they do it? What are the strategies? That's when the rubber starts hitting the road. Now, here's 3 stories from a couple of my students. Michelle Tracy Anderson made $10,000 her very first month. Kim Justice went through my last millionaire mentoring session. She made 16 grand in 7 weeks. Vitali came right out of the gate. In 4 months, he made $90,000. Imagine what would happen for you if you could make that type of money. Here's my next 3. There's John Hunley, $21,000 in 21 days at 23 years old. Robbie Godsell, $35,000 his first month at only 17 years old. Justin James Grabko, $13K his very first month working on a part-time basis. Now we've got Mehdi. This is my youngest student ever, guys, 15 years old. He made $5,000 this month so far. Yulia is, that's more in a month, or more in a day rather, than she used to make an entire month working a full-time job. Yassine, before he met me, he was making $10 an hour. He's 19 years old. 6 months, he's made $32,500. Now, I will share this with you guys. My biggest stories that I have come from Millionaire Mentoring. They come from my Unleash the Alpha Within program. My one homeless guy went from 0, completely homeless, on the couch of a friend's house. In his 6th month, he made $20,000. 3 years later, he's now the CEO of his own network marketing company. 0 to 70,000, 4 grand to $70,000 month. All those stories come from my personal one-on-one millionaire mentoring and my Unleash the Alpha Within program. Now, what is the number one thing that stops most people from achieving their ultimate success in every area of their life? What do you think it is? What would be the thing that you would say would be the number one thing that stops most people from achieving their ultimate success in every area of their life? Here's what it is, guys. It is fear. Okay, fear is completely crippling. And a lot of times people don't even realize that. And I want to give you a little bit of education on tonight's webinar so that you can look at your own life and identify which one of these is holding you back. Okay, so you want to get a pen and paper right now. You're going to want to take some notes because we're going to start to peel back the onion and take you inside of your mind. Okay, now here's the first thing. First thing that you've got to understand is fear is an illusion. Fear is false evidence appearing real. It's our mind that gets carried away with itself, and it starts to think about all of the things that we actually don't want to have happen, right? And that creates fear. Now, here's the interesting thing. It's like a wall, okay? It's like a wall. And if you don't face it head on, guys, it becomes a concrete wall that gets thicker and thicker, and then it turns into steel, and then the steel gets thicker and thicker, and you never actually get to your dream, okay? It's like standing at a doorway, but never being able to actually walk through to the other side of the door. It's almost like a force field that stops and cripples people from taking action. Now, here's the thing to understand. Fear is a liar, okay? It's not true. It's an illusion that you have inside your mind. But until you can actually peel back the onion and understand what's stopping you, you can't get to your dream. It's not possible. Now, here's the first thing. Fear has actually many different disguises in our lives. And this is the most bizarre one, is that people actually have fear of success itself. They also have fear of failure. They also have fear of the unknown. They have fear of responsibility, fear of change, and fear of leaving our friends behind, our friends and peers. Now, I will share this with you. You have to be okay with that. As you do more personal development, as you increase your own vibrational frequency, you will leave some of your friends behind. But I can share with you this. There is a whole group of powerful and successful people that will be there for you to give you a big hug, okay? You will have more fun traveling the world with those people, and the people that can't break free of their fear, they will get stuck, left behind at their jobs. That's just life, okay? So I would encourage you to embrace it, to embrace the fear, to hit it head on in your life. So let's take a look at the first one, fear of success. You know, as crazy as it may sound, people actually have a fear of success. And much of this has to do with them being stuck in their comfort zone and afraid to make a change, okay? I want you to be pay close attention to these areas, guys, because you could actually have your breakthrough right here by identifying your fear tonight. Becoming more successful requires taking more responsibility, change, and potentially leaving those friends and fears behind. And I would encourage you to embrace that. Get excited about it. Get excited about new relationships and new people that you're going to be meeting and traveling around the world with. Now, the other area is fear of failure. People's natural instinct is to fear the worst. Okay, they fear the worst possible outcome for anything that they do in their lives. It's part of the human condition. It's part of what we deal with in the Unleash the Alpha Within. Now, they typically replay the worst possible thing over and over and over in their minds, whether it's true or not, right? It's like this black cloud that of doom that hovers over top of them. And the more that they become emotionally attached to the failure and the possibility of it not working out, the more resistance they create in their lives, and this stops them from taking any action at all, okay? So fear of failure is a huge crippler, okay? It can just completely get you to take no action at all. Now, the next one is fear of the unknown, okay? Now, Because people want to know everything that's going to happen, moving into an unknown or uncertain zone can create a huge amount of emotional fear, and it can be crippling. It also can feel kind of stressful. You have to just trust the process. You've got to realize there's people that have already walked the path before you, that have already blazed the trail. You've just got to be coachable, right? So it's very important. We're all creatures of habit, and anything that moves us out of our daily habits can prevent us from taking action. Basically, when we're faced with an unknown situation or circumstance, the easiest way to face it is to not face it at all, right? So people actually will avoid the fear of the unknown instead of embracing it and going for it, going for that dream. Now, what's going to be the difference? The difference is working with a millionaire mentor. You just need to be coachable, right? Now, here's the next one, fear of responsibility. Now, taking on additional tasks or overseeing others requires learning new skills. And a lot of that is just being a leader. This can lead to more work, more burden, and additional stress. People in general are afraid to make the wrong move or take on more responsibility for fear of being judged as being inadequate. Now, guys, I will share this with you about social media. If you can stop giving a shit about what other people think and speak your truth on social media, you will get way more interaction and way more followers. Now, it may not look like people are actually paying attention a lot of times, but I can tell you they watch quietly. I've got about 4,800 friends, I think, on Facebook, but I've got almost 14,000 followers, and every day it grows by between about 25 and 75 every day. Now, you wouldn't be able to tell that a lot of times from looking at the amounts of likes and comments, but I can share with you that every single day it grows by 25 to 75 more people. But that's because I just speak my truth, right? So I would encourage you that's one of the things that you're going to learn about in this program. Now, this combined with the fear of the unknown oftentimes completely paralyzes us and prevents us from taking on any additional responsibility. What's the next one? Fear of change. Human beings typically have routines we live our lives by. Daily repetition of certain tasks creates what's called our comfort zone. Now, this is what one of my millionaire mentors said to me. He said, Darren, you need to get comfortable being uncomfortable. That's the gateway, guys. Get comfortable being uncomfortable, right? That was one of my biggest breakthroughs along my own success path when I was walking on fire and bare feet and walking on beds of broken nails and, broken glass and all sorts of things in these fear-busting seminars that I went through, but it's all part of facing your fear head on, guys, all part of that. It's much easier to do the same routine daily than to change, even if that change can dramatically impact our lives in a positive way. Now, I will share with you that I have actually witnessed people that hate their jobs. They completely hate their jobs. They never get to see their children. They spend an hour to 2 hours en route and coming home every single day. They hate getting up to their alarm clock, and they meet somebody like me who can literally roll out the red carpet for them and give them freedom, but they're stuck, okay? They're stuck in their comfort zone. You've got to be able to step outside your comfort zone, guys, if you ever want to achieve freedom. Now, we typically avoid doing anything that takes us out of our comfort zone. Overcoming the fear of change allows us to open up infinite possibilities in our lives. This is a real big one. Now, you might be one of these people, and I can tell you that if you're prepared to face that fear and step outside your comfort zone and get comfortable being uncomfortable, that's where the rubber hits the road. That's where you start to get the most amount of positive impact in your life. Now, this is a real big one. It's the fear of leaving our friends behind and our peers, right? Typically, most people associate with others that earn approximately the same amount of income that they do. Now, what happens is when you start earning significantly more income than one's peers, it often leads to friction, jealousy, and it can often lead to resentment, and almost putting you into a situation where the person that has the higher income starts being treated as an outcast, right? Now, I will share this with you. Once you start making more income, provided that you follow what we teach in being a leader, there will be tons of other people on your team that will be advancing with you at the same time. So you'll never be in a situation where you're an outcast. Ever, okay? That you got to just trust me on this. There's so many people on this path that you're never in a position where you're going to ever be all alone, okay? There will always be somebody there to celebrate with you, to go travel with you, to really enjoy life to its fullest. Now, here's the other thing. Here's one of the most important things, guys. The question is, what do you see when you look at yourself in the mirror? Okay, now, first of all, do you feel worthy? Second of all, do you feel deserving? Third of all, do you love yourself to stop your suffering? Okay, and do you have boundaries where you will not accept suffering in your life? Period. Now, here's the bizarre thing. Human beings get addicted to their suffering. And it's almost like they feel that they have to suffer. It's bizarre. It's bizarre to watch it once you're on the other side. But it's being able to help people to bridge from one side to the other with the proper training and coaching. Now, this is something that is really bizarre as well, and that's the what if syndrome. Much of what people dream about when they picture their future reality is all in their mind. In many cases, their what if thoughts are completely negative, and they don't support a positive outcome of what they truly desire. People actually focus on the what if everything goes wrong syndrome, right? They get emotionally attached to their worst case scenario, and this creates a mountain of fear in their mind and prevents them from taking any action at all. Now, did you know, a lot of people don't know this, I actually studied for 3 years with Dr. Lee Poulos with the power of the subconscious mind, and 2 years with Dr. Dov Baron in quantum physics. We actually produce up to 50,000 thoughts a day, and 70 to 80% of those thoughts are negative. Now, that translates into about 40,000 negative thoughts a day that need managing and filtering, and it's no small task for any person or entrepreneur, guys. You need assistance from a mentor to be able to give you the proper tools so that you can get control, of your own thoughts, so you can get control of your words, so you can get control of your emotions, so that you can master your own reality. Now, here's what's even more interesting. Your subconscious mind, which is actually the steering ship to your reality, it stores negative thoughts and events as if they really happened, even if they didn't. The subconscious mind does not know the difference between the past, the present, or the future. So every time that you rethink about a thought, or you rethink about a fear, or you rethink about something that happened in your past, your subconscious mind thinks that you're reliving it over and over and over and over and over again, right? So this is why it's so important to be able to get control of your own mind, guys. And this is one of the key areas that helped me to go from 0 to the 165,000, okay? You have to believe it in your mind. long before it's going to ever show up in your bank account. And the challenge that most people have is they don't have any data. What does that mean, data? So I already had, as an example, like a $13,000 day. So when I launched this particular month, I had a goal based upon my data that if I did 1 week of a promotional push and created some compression, that I could have a $50,000 day. That was my intention based upon my data. Now, did I have a $50,000 day? No, I did not that time. But I had a $24,000 in 5 days, and I ended up on one income stream making $108,000 US. Now, coupled with the rest of them and the conversion to Canadian, it was 165,000 and change, right? But if I didn't believe it, if I didn't believe that it could happen, it will never happen. That's what you got to understand. You have to be, the battle's not against you and the world, guys. The battle's you against yourself. And that's why it's so important for mentoring. Now, when does the negative programming start? Negative programming actually begins from the moment of conception with the early programming during childhood. And it stems from our parents, the school system, television, media, with negative words like no, don't, stop, and be careful. Those actually create your program. So before you even know what words are, before you even know how to speak, and you're reaching for something that's maybe crystal, and your parents go, no! And it's a lot of times it's delivered with shock value. So it creates trauma. So you start reciting that over and over. No, 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 don't, right? And that creates what's called the human condition. Now, the negative programming creates feeling of non-deservability, non-worthiness, and this leads to issues regarding self-love and our inability to set healthy boundaries in every area of our life. Now, once you can get control of this, guys, this is what we cover in the Unleash the Alpha Within for you to be able to rise above this so that you can master your own mind, so that you can get control of your thoughts, words, and emotions. Now, this is something that's bizarre, so bizarre, okay? There's a whole chapter on this in Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. Not being able to overcome this early negative childhood programming can oftentimes lead to self-defeating actions. This completely destroys the possibilities for us to reach our dreams and goals. Now, I'll share this with you because Tony Robbins actually talks about this in Unlimited Power on when he started to make $10,000 a month and higher, his friends started to reject him. So he would want to go away on a trip and he'd say, hey guys, don't worry about it. I'll pay for you. And they were like, oh no, yeah, the big rich man. Oh yeah, right. We don't want to go, right? So he started to sabotage his own success by not showing up for meetings and sleeping in and, eating a lot of junk food and getting fat, right? Because he was starting to sabotage his success because he was being rejected by his friends. There's so much, behind all this stuff, guys. And if you can really master this stuff and really look at your patterns, these cycle patterns that go on in our lives, that's when you get to your breakthrough. Now, when a person starts to achieve a higher level of success than they feel worthy or deserving of, they sabotage it. So somebody might go from, say, 0 to 25,000 in 30 days, and then they sabotage themselves. They step into their ego. They start treating people badly. They start, doing bad things to other people or to their actual mentors themselves. We've seen that happen multiple times. It's called self-sabotage. It's terrible, guys. Now, their subconscious mind creates negative actions and events in their life without even knowing it. These events tend to block their success and prevent them from moving forward to a higher level. So somebody might go from, say, 0 to 100 grand in 4 months. And then right after that, they sabotage themselves. And the whole thing comes crumbling down. To be on the path, they could have been on a path to go from 100,000 to a millionaire, but they sabotage themselves at 100 grand and woo, 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 right? Just like a video game. It's very, very similar to a video game. Now, this is a cycle, and you want to start to be able to recognize these cycles in your life. They will keep on repeating themselves. The cycle of self-sabotage and repeating of self-defeating and self-destructive behavior is very, very common with most people. The pattern will continue over and over and over until we learn the life lesson that is actually us, that it is doing it to ourselves. Now, if you get this and you can start to look at your life to the pattern, it's like being a gerbil in a cage, guys. The pattern will keep on repeating itself. It could be in finances, it could be in relationships, it could be in health and fitness, it could be in spiritual and emotional, it could be in your career, but it's typically a repeating cycle until you get the lesson, okay? Now, it's our lack of deservability and worthiness that stops us from advancing to the next level of success. Overcoming self-sabotage is probably the hardest lesson to learn, and many may never escape the self-defeating cycle. Some people will actually go to their grave in this repetitive self-defeating self-sabotage, okay? Soon as they start making money, they sabotage. Then they go through the whole thing again and they sabotage. This is something that you want to take a look at the patterns in your own life. Now, breaking through the wall of fear, learning how to tap into the subconscious mind and cleaning up negative past events in our lives is the key to breaking through the wall of fear. Once you learn how to do this, everything in your life will completely change for the better. Now, it requires you to be in a state of what's called split consciousness, guys, okay? So you've got to be both the participant in the game and the observer of yourself at the same time. It requires us to master our thoughts by hearing our thoughts, hearing what we're saying, what we're writing, and being very aware of our emotional state. Your emotional state, the physiology in your body, just so you know, is your compass to success. Success is actually a radio broadcast frequency, in case you didn't know, okay? Now, this is something that a lot of people don't even realize, is that the gateway to their future dreams is actually in cleaning up their past. So their success forward requires them to go backwards. You can't reach for anything new if your hands are still full of yesterday's junk. So you've got to be able to go backwards first in order to go forwards. It's kind of like a slingshot in a way. You've got to go back to clean up your past. You've got to anchor with past successes to slingshot forward into the future. Now, how can we begin to overcome our fears and clean up our past to create a positive change in our lives? That is a really good question. Now, here's what I'm going to share with you. The Top Recruiters Academy is the top secret information that will allow you to do this, guys. Now, I have been at this for 3 decades, okay? I've made millions and millions and millions of dollars, and I want to open the vault and share everything with you so that you can have the same type of success and freedom too. Now, this information will grant you abundance, limitless wealth, and incredible power over every aspect of your life. I'm talking about spiritual, emotional, family, relationships, career, travel, financial goals, material things, contribution, giving back, making a difference, and also being able to be at peace, okay? That's really, really important, guys. Now, It's the secret behind the secret. Okay, so you may have seen the movie called The Secret. This actually allows you to master the law of attraction once and for all. Okay, master the law of attraction. People will say to me, Darren, how do you just make money at will? Like, how do you like wake up in the morning and then by the time you go to sleep, you know, make 10 grand or 15 or $20,000? This last week, I had a $54,000 week. How did I do that? Right? A lot of it has to do with mastering your thoughts, words, and emotions, but it has to do with being able to set an intention, being emotionally connected to your future reality and lasso the reality right into your body right now, right? Like throwing out a lasso into the future and then pulling it into your body and feeling that feeling in your body today. Now, this controversial information, and I can tell you it is highly controversial because I actually will be showing you what the matrix looks like, okay? I will be showing it to you and explaining it to you so that it can communicate with your subconscious mind to completely open up another gateway. It's helped thousands of people step into their personal power and completely transform every area of their lives. Now, learning and applying this information will allow you to overcome your fears and finally be free to manifest anything that you want in your life, guys, anything. Now, for me to go from 0 to 165,000 in 30 days, honestly, right now today, when I say those words, it's hard for me to sometimes even fathom it myself, okay? Really the truth. It's hard for me to even, you know, land it someplace in my brain based upon me only making 60 grand for a full year in business before as VP of marketing. Okay, so guys, this is Unleash the Alpha Within. This is the journey into the abyss. And I can tell you that this is where the biggest stories, the biggest success of all of my students, this is where it comes from. Because once you learn this, once you learn how to unlock the matrix, this is like me giving you the keys to universal abundance. Now, I will share this with you. Last year, and I showed you the June payments coming through last year of $19,000 in 3 days. People actually paid $5,000 for this program, and it's just one of the bonuses that you get inside the Top Recruiters Academy. Now, what if, guys, what if, I want you to be thinking about this for a second. What if you could get so emotionally connected to your dream that you became unstoppable? Now, that is a hard thing to comprehend until it actually happens. It is the closest thing to euphoria that you can possibly imagine, where you feel like anything, you can do anything. There's zero fear. You literally set your intention, you walk forward in complete blind faith, and you know that it's going to happen. That's right there. That's what happens when you go through Unleash the Alpha Within. What if you could reignite your burning desire to achieve your goals in record time? From 0 to 25,000 in 5 days, from 0 to 100,000 in 30 days. This is what starts happening for people because they're not dealing in the three-dimensional reality once you understand how the matrix works. What if you could truly understand your core beliefs about success and what's been holding you back your entire life? Now that right there, guys, I'm telling you, when I say the gateway to your future is cleaning up your past, you will find that if you actually start to do the digging, that you will be able to identify the actual events that took place with your parents that are creating the blockers for you in your life. What if you could eliminate your fear of success and failure so that you could just walk forward and know that it's going to happen? What would that feel like? What if you could increase your concentration and your focus and be so tapped in to your future reality? What if you could raise your confidence and your self-esteem? What if you could get a roadmap to manifest anything that you want in your life, including peace of mind, tranquility, and riches beyond your wildest dreams? Now, what if I gave you the entire blueprint that allows me to make money out of thin air, on demand, anytime I want, even while I'm sleeping, guys? Even while I'm sleeping, I've woken up to $10,000 days, woken up to $22,000 mornings, even just this past week. What if I gave you my actual campaigns that I used on a variety of launches that have been responsible for $165,058.87 in 30 days? What would that be worth to you? To understand my psychology of what I do and how I roll these campaigns out. What if I gave you the psychology behind what makes people buy? What would that be worth to you if you knew the psychology of what makes them actually pull out their credit card? What if I gave you the psychology on how to create excitement by turning your fans into raving promoters? Now think about that. Think about what it would be like if your fans started sharing your content because it had so much value to help other people that they just did it for free, right? Your fans become your promoters. What if I gave you the formula that I use to wake up to $10,000 days? What would that mean for you? Think about that. 10 grand, waking up to that in the morning. What if I gave you the formula that I use to recruit new reps in 6 to 45 minutes? And what if I gave you access to a private Facebook group filled with tons more marketing secrets? And I just kept on filling it with content and content and value and value. What would that mean for you? Now, here's my top 15 goals that I have for you inside of the Top Recruiters Academy. I want you to be able to learn how to build a business without having to ever harass your friends and family. Literally so that you make money 24/7, okay? Without having to contact anybody that you know personally. Your friends, family, they're out. Trust me, they will be contacting you when you start having $5,000, $10,000 days. Trust me. I want you to be able to learn how to never get rejected in your business ever again. Imagine what that would be like, to just hear people saying yes constantly to your offer. I want you to be able to learn how to generate unlimited leads using social media. I want you to learn how to close and upsell to higher ticket products. Doesn't matter how expensive they are, guys, okay? Doesn't matter. I want you to learn how to start making money while you are sleeping. I want you to learn how to create a $10,000 monthly marketing budget for your business. Doesn't matter what you're marketing currently. You could have multiple income streams. You could be in weight loss, skincare, nutraceuticals. You could be in online tools. You could be in power or energy drinks. I want to show you how to master the 7-figure secrets. I want you to be able to learn how to break through your fears and step into your power as a leader, guys, because that's where the big money is. I want you to be able to raise your confidence and your self-esteem to make more money than you've ever thought possible, to generate unlimited leads by learning how to develop and brand your own special sauce. This right here is the gateway. Once you get something that's unique to you, that's branded to you as a product in the marketplace, your income starts to grow tenfold, 10xing your income. I want you to be able to learn the psychology behind closing and upselling to higher ticket items. Not just doing it, I want you to understand the psychology behind it. I want you to be able to help get your phone ringing with incoming calls, your Facebook lit up with incoming messages, as well as email, Skype, and incoming requests. I want to be able to teach you the exact strategy I use to go from $0 to $165,058.87 in 30 days. Now, that is a pretty darn tall order, guys, because that is a big number, right? But I'm going to show you the psychology behind it, the psychology. I'm going to teach you the various attraction marketing strategies that I personally use to make money out of thin air any time that I want. And I want you to learn how to become the attractor factor. That is the important part, guys. Learning how to become the attractor factor. Learning how to never, ever worry about money again for the rest of your life. Now, here's what you're going to get inside of the Top Recruiters Academy. You're going to get a minimum of 15 hours of millionaire mentoring. A lot of times I do bonus sessions for the group, but the minimum of that is going to be $15,000 in value. I'm going to give you a top recruiter bonus training that went completely viral. Okay, I had it out before, and it was exclusively for my team, and people started to give it away to all their teams like candy at a trade show. I'm going to give you that training that went completely viral. Now, I'll tell you why it went viral, because it turns you into a top recruiter. That's why. And people watched it, and they realized that if their whole team could learn that they were going to be worth millions, right? So they started handing it out like candy at a trade show. You're going to get that training. I'm going to give you my top secret traffic source that today alone, guys, I had over an $8,000 day using my top secret traffic source. I'm also going to give you my fast track contacts. This is access to my copywriters. This is access to my Facebook ads guys. This is access to my actual graphic designer. All the people that I personally use. People that transfer my blogs from one area to another area. People that do all the stuff that I don't want to do because I'm not a tech person. I still type with 2 fingers, guys. Trust me. I don't even know how to do all this stuff. But I outsource it. I'm going to give you all of my contacts. I'm going to take you behind and show you the actual campaigns, the psychology behind the campaigns, the actual ads that I've rolled out, the copywriting that I use combined with my posts, right? That's another $9,000 value. So we've got $15,000 in millionaire mentoring, $997 top recruiter bonus, $997 top secret traffic source, 2,000 fast track contacts, $9 grand in campaign development training, and the Unleash the Alpha Within that last year people already paid $5,000 for, guys. That one there is the breakthrough. That's a total value of $36,994. And tonight, guys, I forgot about this. I'm also going to give you a replay to a 3-hour Super Saturday that I did that completely will explode any person that's never been in the industry before. That's an additional $3,000 bonus if you take action and join right now. You're also going to be able to watch me do live recruiting. So imagine looking over the shoulder of a 7-figure income earner, watching exactly what they do, exactly what they say, what questions do they ask, how do they deal with multiple objections coming back, what's the strategy, how do you never get rejected ever again? Now, if you get started now to be one of 15 people to access the Top Recruiters Academy, it's a $39,984 value, and you can get access for only $22.47. Now, I will share this with you guys. When I roll out these campaigns, these spots go super duper fast. 8 spots are already gone, okay? And this is the first presentation that I've actually done. So 8 spots of the 15, that's more than half, are already gone right now. Okay, so there's only 7 spots left. Now, I will share this with you because I want to try to help people. I can tell you that this just goes right when I do these. But I want to try to help people. You can either do one payment of $2,247, or it's a little bit more, but it gives you the freedom to be able to do it in 2 payments of $1,250, one now and one 30 days from now. Okay, so the training is going to be starting in the first week of March. Like I said, there's only 7 spots left. once those spots get done, guys, okay, not only am I closing the doors, but it will never be at this price again. People paid $5,000 last year just for Unleash the Alpha Within. So when I roll this out the next time, if you're not one of my students in this time round and you do not have a spot locked, you will be paying $5,000 the next time that I roll out these groups. So I would encourage you, if you're a person that wants to 10x your income, if you want to learn the secrets, the 7-figure secrets that I personally use, now is the time to completely change your life, to change your business by learning the 7-figure formula. There's only 7 spots left. Now, it's first come, first serve, guys, okay? First come, first serve. As soon as those 7 spots are gone, they're gone. And once this recording is done, I'm sending this broadcast out to my list, putting it into my personal development group, putting it in my wall. The first 7 people that go, we're shutting the doors, and the doors are shut forever, okay? After that, the price will increase to $5,000. Now, that's me right there, Darren Little, also known as Quantum Millionaire. Thanks for watching, guys. Take action now. Be one of the first 15 people that I work with personally. And you can go to darrenlittle.com right now and get a free gift that I have for you. It's a $197 free gift. It's my actual training manual, right, that I've used to expand into 5 countries in the course of a 90-day period of time. So let's see where we are. Let's see where we are here, guys. Okay. Okay, guys. So hopefully you got some great value from this. I'm excited right now. I mean, holy cow, if you had an $8,000 day, would you be a little bit excited? $54,000 last week, guys. I'm going to roll out the red carpet and share with you everything that I know. And it will only be this price for the next 7 people, and then we're shutting the doors. It will go up to the $5,000 mark in the next roll, and I'm excited. I'm excited because the people that have already bought, right, their lives are going to change forever, okay? So I would encourage you, click that link below, take action. Once you've paid, you want to send me a message so that I can make an announcement on my wall that you've locked one of those spots in, and get ready, buckle up for the next level, guys. I'm excited for you. I look forward to seeing you on the other side, and get ready for Unleash the Alpha Within. Have a great night.